1. What is the main purpose of cognitive ability tests in law enforcement recruitment? A. To assess physical fitness. B. To evaluate intellectual capacity for problem solving. C. To measure emotional intelligence. D. To test social adaptability. 2. Which of the following is a key aspect of evaluating cognitive abilities in law enforcement? A. Problem-solving ability. D. Physical endurance. C. Teamwork skills. D. Leadership capabilities. 3. The Alberta Police Cognitive Ability Test, APCAT, primarily focuses on assessing which area of mental processing? A. Memory recall. B. Problem solving and logical reasoning. C. Emotional regulation. D. Physical dexterity. 4. When designing a cognitive ability test, which of the following principles is most important? A. Ensuring the test measures physical strength. B. Ensuring the test evaluates problem solving and critical thinking. C. Ensuring the test focuses on teamwork abilities. D. Ensuring the test is easy for everyone to pass. 5. What cognitive skill does the APCAT most likely test for when evaluating how a candidate handles a series of logical puzzles? A. Attention to detail. B. Analytical reasoning. C. Memory recall. D. Physical coordination. 6. In the context of law enforcement, what does regulatory compliance most closely relate to in a cognitive test? A. How well a candidate can adhere to rules and procedures. B. How well a candidate performs under physical stress. C. How quickly a candidate can make decisions. D. How well a candidate can collaborate with a team. 7. Which type of question is most likely to appear on the APCAT when testing verbal reasoning skills? A. Word association tasks. B. Sentence completion exercises. C. Logical pattern recognition. D. Situational judgment scenarios. 8. What is the primary goal of evaluating candidates' problem-solving skills on the APCAT? A. To determine their leadership potential. B. To assess their ability to make sound decisions under pressure. C. To gauge their ability to work in teams. D. To measure their emotional stability. 9. Which aspect of cognitive testing is particularly important for police officers to handle high-pressure situations? A. Physical endurance. B. Decision-making and judgment under stress. C. Social interaction skills. D. Communication clarity. 10. What does a high score on a cognitive ability test like the APCAT suggest about a police officer candidate? A. Strong interpersonal skills. B. High mental acuity and critical thinking ability. C. Excellent physical fitness. D. Emotional stability under stress. 11. In the context of the APCAT, what would a pattern recognition question typically involve? A. Understanding numerical sequences. B. Identifying emotional cues in human behavior. C. Solving complex mathematical equations. D. Matching different objects based on shape or size. 12. What type of scenario in the APCAT tests a candidate's ethical reasoning skills? A. Solving puzzles related to crime scenes. B. Making decisions based on community laws and moral guidelines. C. Physical endurance challenges. D. Teamwork-focused group activities. 13. Which of the following is not an effective method for evaluating a candidate's cognitive skills in law enforcement? A. Situational judgment tests. E. Memory recall exercises. C. Physical stamina drills. D. Logical reasoning assessments. 14. Why is curriculum development important in the context of police cognitive ability testing? It ensures that physical fitness is the main focus. It tailors questions to assess real-world problem-solving relevant to law enforcement duties. C. It focuses on group dynamics. D. It emphasizes teamwork skills. 15. Which type of cognitive test question might assess how well a police candidate processes complex instructions? A. Pattern recognition puzzles. E. Reading comprehension exercises. C. Physical endurance tasks. D. Teamwork scenario questions. 16. Which cognitive skill is likely being tested if a police candidate is required to interpret complex documents or legal texts? A. Reading comprehension. B. Memory recall. C. Physical endurance. D. Ethical reasoning. 17. How does the APCAT help to ensure law enforcement candidates meet required professional standards? A. By testing their emotional intelligence and empathy. E. By evaluating their ability to handle mental tasks critical to police work. C. By focusing only on their physical capabilities. D. By assessing their knowledge of legal precedents. 18. In which type of law enforcement task is quick analytical thinking particularly useful? A. Conducting traffic stops. B. Diffusing bomb threats. C. Writing reports. D. Managing payrolls. 19. What is the role of feedback in evaluating candidates during a cognitive ability test, like the APCAT? It helps identify weaknesses in candidates' cognitive skills. B. It motivates candidates to work harder. C. It assesses how well candidates communicate with others. D. It tracks their physical fitness levels. 20. How are situational judgment questions in the APCAT designed to evaluate decision-making skills? A. By presenting real-world scenarios that require quick, ethical decisions. B. By asking factual questions about law enforcement procedures. C. By testing physical endurance. D. By measuring how fast candidates run. 21. What is one major limitation of cognitive ability tests in law enforcement recruitment? A. They do not assess physical fitness. E. They measure only decision-making under pressure, not ethical considerations. C. They may not fully account for how candidates perform in team environments. D. They focus too much on emotional intelligence. 22. In the context of the APCAT, which of the following is a measure of mental agility? A. Decision-making speed in fast-paced situations. B. Ability to remember facts from long-term memory. C. How well a candidate works in groups. D. Strength in performing physically demanding tasks. 23. How might the APCAT assess a candidate's ability to handle ethical dilemmas in policing? A. By providing multiple-choice questions about criminal law. By presenting realistic situations requiring ethical decision-making. C. By asking candidates to participate in physical training. D. By testing their ability to navigate a complex maze. 24. Which of the following best describes an effective evaluation method for cognitive ability tests, like the APCAT? A. Focusing on knowledge of legal texts only. B. A mix of reasoning puzzles, situational scenarios, and verbal tasks. C. Evaluating candidates based on their ability to lift heavy objects. D. Testing candidates on their memorization skills alone. 25. Why is it important for a police candidate to perform well in problem-solving tasks on the APCAT? It ensures they can handle fast-paced, high-pressure situations. It ensures they can memorize the laws. C. It assesses their physical strength. D. It tests their ability to work in groups. 26. What aspect of policing is most likely to be assessed by situational judgment questions on the APCAT? A. The ability to follow physical fitness guidelines. B. The ability to make ethical and legal decisions in high-stress situations. C. The ability to memorize criminal laws. D. The ability to collaborate with a team. 27. How can the results of cognitive ability tests like the APCAT impact law enforcement recruitment? They help identify candidates who are mentally fit to handle complex situations. B. They test only the physical endurance of candidates. C. They focus on teamwork and leadership abilities. D. They determine which candidates can perform well under physical stress. 28. Which type of question would test a candidate's ability to solve an issue in law enforcement? A. A pattern recognition puzzle. B. A question about their previous job experience. C. A question requiring them to make a decision based on a moral dilemma. D. A basic math problem. 29. How do cognitive ability tests in law enforcement recruitment differ from physical fitness tests? A. Cognitive tests assess mental aptitude, while physical tests assess endurance and strength. B. Physical fitness tests also test a candidate's memory. C. Cognitive tests evaluate teamwork, while physical tests focus on intelligence. D. Cognitive tests are only concerned with physical endurance. 30. How do test designers ensure that the APCAT is relevant for law enforcement duties? A. By focusing on physical fitness requirements. B. By aligning questions with real-world law enforcement challenges. C. By testing memory recall only. D. By focusing on physical coordination skills.